Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play of Civilization 5. We are playing as the Danish. We are playing as Vikings. This series of videos is a kind of a memorial that I'm put together for a friend of mine who passed away. He really liked playing Vikings. He really liked playing Civ 5. We never got to finish the last game we were playing where he played some Vikings. So I want to finish this for him. So we're going to conquer the world here as Vikings. So what we've done so far, this is an archipelago map. We have 2 cities that we've founded. We've cleared the barbarians off of this island. Our guys are moving into position to keep an eye on areas where more barbarians might spawn to hopefully prevent them from spawning, because we have sight on all these areas. Or if they do spawn, we'll be able to crush them very quickly before they can start spamming out more units. This guy, I'm gonna have him move up here to the kind of the end of the world and take a look around, just in case there's anything over here. I don't think there will be, but can't hurt to see a little bit of the coastline. These cities are producing. We're producing a granary here in Aarhus, and in Copenhagen we are making a barracks. Science-wise, we are working on trapping, which we just finished, so that we can now start with our furs and our deer that we have here. So those will all be really good. We also have silks here that we want to be able to develop, and we have fish. So we got to pick what we're going to choose for our research. I think that we should get... So sailing will unlock the fish, will also give us boats, and calendar will give us the ability to work those that silk. So I think we should definitely get sailing first. We need to get off of this island, and I had told them to build a caravan first, and if we could build a boat instead of that, I think that would be better. So we're going to build sailing, we're going to research sailing, then we're going to research calendar, and then after that I think we are going to, well, we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. It's probably going to be optics, but we eventually want to start working our way down here to start getting those berserkers. So for right now we're going to get sailing, and then we are going to get calendar. So we're just waiting for these two to build. Our military isn't quite as large as I would like it to be, but I think it is sufficient for what we have, the needs we have right now. I do want to have more of a military built up, so that when we start going over to like this island, for example, that we are able to fight whatever barbarians are over here. Because there will be, I've seen barbarians moving around that coastline before. So I know they're there. We'll pop down here just to reveal what's in these couple tiles. Then this guy is going to go stand on this hill and keep an eye on the whole thing. This area, I think, has sight from the cities and our borders, so I don't think any barbarians are going to spawn there. This area down here, this guy is keeping an eye on it. It's possible someone could spawn over here, but I don't think that's likely to happen. I think what we're going to do, just to be on the safe side, is we're just going to have this guy walk back and forth between this little peninsula over here and these hills. If he does that, he'll have patrolled the whole area, and barbarians are very unlikely to spawn there. It kind of looks and sees when the last time a unit was able to see that area. So if he's walking back and forth, he's keeping an eye on a lot of area. He's kind of acting as our border patrol. We've got a lot of money. Once we develop sailing, if we have enough money, we can probably build a trireme to start exploring the area. But we are short on luxury resources. You can see we're unhappy, which makes our empire grows slower. So that's not good. Eventually we are going to want to fix that. We're going to want to get a worker who's going to start building stuff for the furs over here. We have the technology now. Now we just need the people to go out and actually do it. So when we get our next social policy, that's 19 turns away. I think what we're going to do here in Copenhagen is, after the barracks, I want them to build a worker. There we go. That will try and take care of our unhappiness problem as soon as possible. I could wait for the next social policy to pop and then use that to get the worker, but that's a long time away. That's a long time to deal with that unhappiness, and if we can solve it, we should. So this guy will go up here, and he's going to rest. He's going to go on alert right now. Again, our host is building a granary. Copenhagen is almost done with its barracks. And then you can see there's an island over here, and it looks pretty decent. There's a hill, there's some forests. I would like to get over there very much and start looking for places to build a third city, or if there's another civilization over there, that should be where our warriors go, where our Vikings go, and actually conquer that area. Once we can build some siege engines and get some troops over there, if there are people there, they will become Viking cities very soon. That's my hope. It's either going to be an empty island that we can build our own cities on, or, again, we're just going to patrol back and forth here, or it's going to be either empty where we can build our own cities, or have another civilization that we can make quick work of and have them join the Vikings. One way or another. So we're working on building this worker over here. No, not a warrior. A worker.
He who commands the...
Warrior, I'll still keep him in the queue because it's still going to be useful. We've got 205 gold. In order to build a trireme, we need 220 gold. So we're going to keep working towards that. Once we have the 220 gold, we will buy a trireme to start exploring. It's going to be really useful for us to be able to do that. The fact that we haven't seen any other ships come over to our area means that this area over to here is probably uninhabited, or if it is inhabited, the people don't have ships yet. Given that we're on an archipelago map, most civilizations are going to realize they're on an island pretty quickly and are going to start building ships as soon as they can. We already saw one civilization had built the Great Lighthouse earlier as a wonder of the world. So, getting out to the sea is important to us. It's important to us as Vikings to be able to send our longships out. So someone built the Temple of Artemis, which is a pretty good wonder. We don't have the technology to build it yet. You need to know archery. Artemis is the god of the hunt. The Temple of Artemis lets you build ranged military units faster, like archers. It also makes your people, their food, faster. Just like Artemis, I guess the hunt brings food into your people. But we will, as people build these wonders of the world, we're eventually going to conquer them and just take them from them. So they can spend their time building monuments to their gods made out of gleaming marble and gold, and we will take it with iron and blood. This guy's gonna go on alert here. Someone built Stonehenge. Probably the Celts, they usually build a lot of religious stuff. Maybe Byzantium, they build religious stuff too. I don't really know who's building these things. I just know that whatever they're building will be ours eventually. We might want to build the statue of Zeus ourselves. There's usually, you have to have honor to build the statue of Zeus, and not a lot of people go down the honor path, usually. So it's possible we could build that as one of our wonders of the world. That will help us actually attack people, so that might be worth it. But that is one of the few exceptions of what we might build ourselves. But even that, I'm not 100% sure we're going to build. It really depends if there's a time when we don't need more cities or military units. Who knows?
So
we
teach
discovered
us to number
calendar
our
now.
days, so that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
So when we do have this this worker here, he'll be able to get the furs and the silk, which will help our happiness a lot. which will help our gold. Why are we spending so much? We're running a deficit. That's not very good. I don't like that. But there's not too much we can do about it right now. We've got 212. I would like to have spent that money on a boat on the trireme itself. But I think we're just going to have to use it to run a deficit for a little bit. So what are we going to get next? We could get archery, the wheel, masonry. All of these things are decent, and that's normally what I would do. But I want to get us optics so we can embark and go across the water. I think that's going to be really important for us. Once we have optics, we'll be able to, even if we don't have triremes, our military units will be able to cross the water here. That's also how we're going to colonize this little island over here, and how we're going to send military units to fight over there. So that will be important for us. We really need to get iron. Unfortunately, our home island doesn't have iron, which makes building our military units, our special military units, impossible. And we definitely want to be able to do that. So we need to find a land that has that and either build cities there or take cities from people who are there already. But getting iron is extremely important to us. So we're almost done with our workers, and this will solve a lot of our problems once we can go here and start building. Once we get our worker, he's going to come down here and he's going to work on the furs right there. And then once he's done with the furs, he's going to come over here and start harvesting the silk. And then he can go and move around to these other tiles. But getting these luxuries is going to be really important to fixing our happiness problem and fixing our money problems, both of which I don't like that we have. Copenhagen right now is working on a warrior. That's fine. We told him to start working on it. We're going to need more military units anyway pretty soon. But once he's done with that, the question is, what do we want to build? Again, a shrine religion would be nice, but I think that we're going to pick up religion from other people. As we conquer people, they're going to have their own strange gods. We'll let them continue to worship them, so we're going to have their religions in place. So, what do we want? I think we're going to want a trireme. We're going to want to start exploring this area. And we probably are going to want a cargo ship to start trading with people. Vikings are excellent warriors and excellent traders historically, so that will be good. And we're going to want a workboat to start improving these things. So one more warrior to add to the military to go over to this island. Then we're going to start building a lot of boats. And we probably, once I know what's over here, I'll decide, do we want more military for over here or do we want settlers? So this guy's going to start building for the furs here, which will solve at least our unhappiness problem and probably will solve our money problem as well. We've got 6 more turns until we have optics, and then in 6 more turns also our barracks and Aarhus will be done. So I think once we have, we'll have our military unit over here to go explore with. We'll have solved our unhappiness problem, and our military unit will be able to embark. When we can do all of those things, I think that's probably where we will end the video. We'll leave exploring the new island over here for the next one, but I'd like to get through this, through building our military unit, getting the technology to go across the ocean, and having solved our unhappiness problem. If we can do all 3 of those things, I think we'll have had a successful run here. I'm very curious to see what is over here. I've been staring at it for, what, 76 turns now, just right across the water, but we can't get anything. So because we had a barracks here, we get a promotion right away. We're going to go with the rough terrain bonus. I can see already that there are forests over here, so there's still going to have, forests are still going to be good. So this guy's going to go on alert in the city. No need to move him out. Aarhus, I had told to make a caravan I don't want them to do that anymore. I want them to finish up what they're doing, and then we'll decide what they're going to do. The caravan is going to get replaced with a cargo ship, which is right here. The cargo ship will still be able to do everything that the caravan was going to be able to do, which is transport food from Copenhagen to Aarhus, or Aarhus to Copenhagen. But we can also use it eventually to trade with other people as well. If we built the caravan, we would be stuck to whatever we could get on this little island, so it could only do one of those two things. So that's not the best. So one more turn, and then we'll be able to send these guys across the ocean, which we were definitely going to do. These guys just finished building the furs here. You can see our happiness was solved. We still are running a deficit on money, which is not the best. Let's see if we can fix that. So here, these are all the tiles that were working.
He made an instrument to know if the moon shined full or no.
Proud is the spirit of Zeus-fostered kings. Their honor comes from Zeus, and Zeus, god of counsel, loves them.
So we're in a new era. We're in the classical era. We are going to change some of our production here, what we're working. They're already working... Oh no, what they're working is pretty good. This is what I would have had them work anyway. The deer has 3 food and 1 production that it's doing. This is 1 food, 1 production, and some gold. We really do need gold. We're running behind. I don't like to run a deficit. I don't need us to be making a ton of money, but I don't want us to be losing any money either. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. We're going to get a new citizen pretty soon anyway, and then he'll be able to work another terrain tile. He'll be able to work probably either one of these or this other fur tile. So we got to figure out what this guy is going to do, and I want him to come down here to this silk, which you saw we were already working, and work on this. But the main thing is that now this guy, we're going to wake him up, and he's going to be able to go across the water. So we'll check in with him during our next video and see what it is he uncovers across the water.